A girl invites her boyfriend over for Friday night dinner with her parents. Since this is a big step in their relationship, she tells him, "After dinner, I'd like to go out and, you know, make love for the first time." The boyfriend is ecstatic, but also nervous. He's never been with a woman before. Wanting to be prepared, he heads to the pharmacy to get some protection. The pharmacist is incredibly helpful, spending nearly an hour explaining everything the boy needs to know about condoms, their use, and the art of lovemaking. At the register, the pharmacist asks, "How many would you like? A 3-pack, a 10-pack, or the family pack?" Thinking he'll be rather busy, it being his first time and all, the boy confidently buys the family pack. That night, he arrives at the girlfriend's house. She greets him excitedly. "I'm so happy you're here! Come in, my parents are waiting!" The boy sits down at the dinner table, where the girl's parents are already seated. Before anyone can say a word, he quickly offers to say grace. He bows his head, and silence fills the room. 1 minute passes. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. The boy remains frozen in deep prayer. After 20 minutes, the girlfriend leans over and whispers, "I had no idea you were this religious." The boy slowly lifts his head and whispers back, "I had no idea your father was a pharmacist." After a year of retirement, Mr. Johnson's wife of 50 years makes a suggestion. "Honey, let's take a cruise. Just the two of us for a week, and we can make wild love like we did when we were young." Mr. Johnson thinks it over and agrees. He grabs his hat and heads down to the pharmacy, where he buys a bottle of seasick pills, a box of condoms. He returns home, excited for the trip, but his wife has been doing some thinking. "You know what? Why just a week? Let's go for a month." So Mr. Johnson heads back to the pharmacy. This time he buys 12 bottles of seasick pills, another box of condoms. He returns home again, but his wife has had yet another idea. Now that the kids are grown and gone, why stop at a month? Let's cruise the world. Mr. Johnson sighs, puts his hat back on, and returns to the pharmacy. He loads up the counter with 297 bottles of seasick pills, 297 boxes of condoms. The pharmacist, who has known him for over 30 years, finally can't stay silent any longer. "Mr. Johnson, I don't mean to pry into your marriage, but if it makes you that sick, why the heck do you keep doing it?" A man walks into a pharmacy, casually strolling up and down the aisles, browsing for quite some time. Noticing his aimless wandering, a salesgirl approaches him. "Sir, can I help you find something?" "Yes," he replies. "I'm looking for a box of tampons for my wife." She directs him to the right aisle, and he disappears down it. A few minutes later, he returns to the counter, but instead of tampons, he places a huge bag of cotton balls and a roll of string on the counter. The salesgirl, clearly confused, hesitates before finally asking, "Sir, I don't mean to be nosy and feel free not to answer me, but I thought you were looking for tampons. What gives?" The man sighs and replies, "Well, you see, yesterday I sent my wife to the store to get me a carton of cigarettes, but she came back with a tin of tobacco and some rolling papers because it's so much cheaper." He shrugs. "So I figure, if I have to roll my own, so does she." Jack, 92, and Jill, 89, were thrilled about their decision to get married. Living in Nelson, they took a leisurely stroll to discuss wedding plans. As they walked past a chemist shop, Jack suddenly had an idea. "Let's pop in here for a moment," he said. Inside, Jack approached the man behind the counter. "Are you the owner?" "Yes, I am," the pharmacist replied. Jack nodded. "Good. We're about to get married, and we have a few questions." "Do you sell heart medication?" "Of course we do." "How about medicine for circulation?" "All kinds." "Medicine for rheumatism?" "Definitely." "Suppositories?" "You bet." "Memory boosters, arthritis pills, and Alzheimer's treatments?" "Yes, we have a large variety. The works, vitamins, sleeping pills, and antidotes for Parkinson's." "Absolutely." "But anything for heartburn and indigestion?" "Yes." "But why? Adult incontinence pants?" "Sure, but why?" Jack smiled and took Jill's hand. "We'd like to use this store for our wedding registry." After a string of heartbreaks, a woman decided to give online dating a try. She was upfront about her needs. "I want a man who will never hit me, never run off with another woman, and is amazing in bed." Weeks passed with no luck, until one day her doorbell rang. She opened it to find a man in a wheelchair with no arms and no legs. Man: "Hello. I think I'm the perfect man for you." Woman: "Really? How so?" Man: "Well, I have no arms, so I'll never hit you. And I have no legs, so I'll never run off with another woman." The woman raised an eyebrow. "Okay, but are you good in bed?" The man grinned. "I rang the doorbell, didn't I?" Tired of the relentless pace of modern life, a stressed businessman decided to visit a monastery in search of simplicity and peace. As he entered the serene grounds, he was filled with hope. Monks in simple robes tended to their gardens, practiced their meditations, and walked in quiet contemplation. "Ah," he sighed, "here is a life free from distraction." But as he wandered deeper into the monastery, his illusion shattered. In the study halls, monks sat in silence, but instead of ancient scrolls, they stared at laptop screens. In the wings, others were tapping away on iPads. Disturbed by this intrusion of the modern world, he sought out the abbot. He found the elder monk sitting in his chamber, looking serene, until the businessman noticed him casually scrolling through his phone. "Abbot," the man said, struggling to hide his dismay, "I came here expecting a place free from distraction, and yet I see distraction all around. Tell me, is it now acceptable for monks to spend their time answering emails?" The abbot smiled knowingly, put down his phone, and replied, "Of course, provided there are no attachments." A man walked into a pet shop, casually browsing the cages when something caught his eye. A monkey with a price tag of $5,000. Curious, he called over the shop owner. "Hey, mister, why is this monkey so expensive?" "Ah, that's our computer monkey," the owner explained. "It knows Windows 7, Windows 10, Word, C++, Net, app programming, and best of all, it can fix your computer if it breaks." "Wow," said the man, impressed. "That's a brilliant monkey, well worth the money." Moving along, he spotted another monkey, this one priced at $10,000. "What about this one?" he asked. "Oh, that's our linguist monkey," the owner said proudly. "It speaks 5 languages and translates fluently between them." "Incredible," the man gasped. "That's definitely worth the price." Then, out of the corner of his eye, he noticed a third monkey sitting quietly in a cage with a price tag of $20,000. "Gosh!" he exclaimed. "What does this one do to be worth that much?" The owner shrugged. "To be honest, I've never actually seen him do anything, but the other two call him Project Manager." An astronaut became the first human to set foot on an alien planet. The locals were thrilled and went all out to welcome him. They translated all their signs into English, renamed places after famous Earth landmarks, and even adopted human names. Eager to experience the culture, the astronaut decided the first thing he wanted to do was find a pub. Spotting a friendly-looking alien, he asked, "Excuse me, where's the pub?" The alien gurgled, and his suit translator instantly converted it into English. "Just around the corner." Sure enough, the astronaut turned the corner, and there it was, a pub with a big glowing sign that read, "The Keyboard." Curious, he approached the bouncer. "Why is this place called The Keyboard?" The bouncer, an impressively tall alien with shimmering skin, replied, "Oh, the owner is obsessed with human culture. He even changed his name to match." Intrigued, the astronaut walked inside and found the bartender, another alien polishing a glass with his 3 tentacle-like arms. "Excuse me, are you the owner?" the astronaut asked. "I am," the bartender gurgled. "So, why is this place called The Keyboard?" The bartender leaned in, eyes twinkling with excitement. "Well, since I knew humans were coming, I updated the name to something you'd understand." The astronaut held his breath, waiting for the answer. The bartender grinned. "It's called The Keyboard because it's a space bar." "Dear John, this is Alan next door. I'm sorry, buddy, but I have a confession to make. I've been riddled with guilt these past few months and have been trying to pluck up the courage to tell you to your face. But I just can't live with myself another moment without you knowing. The truth is, I've been sharing your wife, day and night, whenever you're not around. In fact, probably more than you. I haven't been getting it at home recently, but that's no excuse. I know, the temptation was just too much. I can no longer live with the guilt, and I hope you can accept my sincerest apologies and forgive me. I promise it won't happen again. Please come up with a fee for usage, and I'll pay you. Regards, Alan." John felt his blood boil. Betrayal, insult, humiliation. He didn't think. He reacted. Rage coursing through him, he grabbed his gun, stormed next door, and shot Alan dead on the spot. Breathing heavily, still shaking, he returned home, poured himself a stiff drink, and stepped into the garden to clear his mind. His phone buzzed. Another message from Alan. "Hi, John. Alan next door again. Sorry about the slight typo in my last text. I expect you worked it out anyway, but just in case, my smartphone's autocorrect changed Wi-Fi to wife. Technology, hey? Hope you saw the funny side of that. Regards, Alan." John slowly lowered his phone, staring at the screen. The world suddenly felt very quiet. A woman was waiting at a bus stop when she spotted a coin-operated weight machine nearby. Curious, she fished a dime out of her purse and stepped on. The machine whirred and spat out a card. "You weigh 126 pounds, and in 30 seconds you will pass gas." She scoffed, then right on cue, let one rip. Stunned, she dug out another dime and tried again. The machine printed a new card. "You still weigh 126 pounds, and in 30 seconds a very attractive man will approach you." 30 seconds later, a tall, blue-eyed hunk stepped out of a nearby alley and gave her a flirtatious smile. Feeling adventurous, she happily followed him. Later, as she strutted back to the machine, feeling like a runway model, she popped in another dime. The card came out. "You still weigh 126 pounds, and while you were farting and fooling around, you missed your bus."